All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for Legend of the Galactic Heroes, episode 109. This is the end of the war.
Yeah, the war is over. Julian made it to Reinhardt. A lot of people died to make sure that he got that opportunity.
They did.
Like, a lot.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
And
it's a big list.
This might be it. This might be everything that Yang would have wanted, everything that Reinhardt does want.
A year after Yang's death.
And I think this could be it. They could end the show with everything from here on out being a sort of discussion wrap-up, set of episodes.
But we also got something for Reinhardt. It was officially confirmed that, the doctors can't do anything about this thing you have. So
you're going to die.
Your time is very limited.
Now, there's a lot of wondrous things about not just the human body, but about, motivated doctors.
Sure.
So, who's to say that maybe he dies in a year or 3 or something?
Or it was actually a red-haired boy, and he's like, you know what? I kind of regret it. Okay, fine. Here's an antidote. Church of Terra's gone. I might as well,
Oh my god.
Deepest undercover agent in the entire
I love that you're
time.
holding on to my really ridiculous theory from 7 episodes ago or 20 episodes ago. I don't remember how long ago it was.
I really think it was a good theory.
But I'm really glad that a lot of the family people of this story did make it out of this okay. Mittermeier's gonna be fine.
Yes.
Like, that's a win that we can take here. Kateros and
Julian?
and Julian, they're going to be okay. So.
But Shunkhoff won't be.
Yeah,
I mean, he went out in a pretty awesome way.
Guy.
But more importantly,
Poplin might be, because
Poplin might have just made a new best friend.
There's guardians out there that look out for fools like him.
That's right.
Yeah, exactly. So, y'all, without further ado, let's get into this. All right, everyone, now be sure to go check out the reaction portion of the video in the description below, then come back here for the discussion. All right, Reinhardt survived. Rubinsky is fucking dead.
It feels so good that Reinhardt is going to survive to the final episode.
Yeah.
I knew there was a chance that wouldn't happen, but I really wanted it to. And we get that. Yeah.
He did it. He's going to make it probably to Fejon.
Yeah.
I could see him dying en route. But the main thing that we have guaranteed is that he will not leave Fejon again.
Now, just because I'm holding on to desperate hope, right?
Yep. Staying on Fejon doesn't mean that he dies quickly.
Exactly. Yep. The narrator has debated us and specifically built us up to certain things
by speaking in exact truths that
that are misleading, right?
That are not exactly all confining,
right? And if Reinhardt just grew old on Fejon, right, and basically said, "Hey, the time of conquering is done." Right?
I will remain here.
Yeah, I will remain here. I'm going to be a father. I'm going to be a husband.
Take
right?
care
of
Alex,
Yeah, like that would be awesome. That would be.
Imagine,
so wonderful.
Imagine the decision where he willingly gives over actual rule of the Empire to Hilda.
Yeah, he just becomes a stay-at-home dad.
It's just a thing where he's like, I am too physically unwell to manage these things here. We will either rule as equals, or I will take a step back from all things decision making, but I will be the last ruler of this dynasty to usher in the beginning stages of the new era.
And that would be kind of fitting in a way, because
even
then it's
before he dies,
Right. But then also it's something where the people who rule were the ones that, by circumstance and everything were deemed fit to rule, right?
Yeah, actually,
and then
kind of interesting. Which is
this is a long episode.
Autocracy. So,
yeah, exactly.
All right.
Because I liked with the conversation with him and Julian. Like, yes, it lasted only half an hour, right? But even then, the stuff that we saw of it was very, very succinct, very to the point. It's just, okay, yeah, wine vessel and wine and all that stuff, right? And it's okay.
Did you like the distinction that he made, though, where he was saying, no. Constitutionalism is not the new wine vessel.
Right.
The Galactic Empire is the wine vessel, and
that's the wine.
You're trying to get us to
imbibe
that. Yeah. Which means that in a lot of ways that will even take time.
Sure.
So, maybe we can stomach it. But I'll tell you,
it's not going to be a quick transition.
It's not going to be a quick transition, and also I am not the one probably that's best capable in making a decision with this kind of long-reaching consequences. So I need to take you to Fejan to meet my better half, and we'll get this going. And I just love the way he talks so fondly of Hilda.
I know.
It's just like
because like Reinhard is an exceptional human being, right? But he's not perfect.
No,
right?
Exactly.
And over the course of this series, he has had different reminders, sometimes with dramatic consequence, sometimes not.
Yes.
That
he's only human.
You're only human.
Yep.
And so him saying that and acknowledging that, I love it because it's
it's his character development.
It's his character development.
It's the results of all this time, all these years, basically coming to this point where he tried to have it all. He went all the way as far as he could with Kierheis and without.
Yep.
And now here he is looking at, in some ways, the next Kierheis in this galaxy, being like, hey, I would like to partner with you in taking this galaxy in a new direction. And he's like, yeah, I'd like that too. But you know what? It's not really for me to do that.
Yeah.
I'm going to take you over to someone that will be able to, have these conversations with a little bit more depth.
And here's my, since we're up on the final episode, I'm just throwing out all my like fan fiction desires out here.
Yeah.
Is that when they have that conversation, a conversation that also happens is that Mittermeier gets brought over. And it's like, oh, hey, by the way, because if Reinhardt's stepping aside, right, who's going to manage the military affairs? Now, there's not too much to manage.
I don't think there's really anything to adjust. Mittermeier just keeps doing what he's doing.
Yeah, good point. I guess I just want Mittermeier and Julian to have that talk, like to also, like, just interact a bit.
I feel like they can have that after Reinhardt's passed.
Sure.
Like, the idea that Mittermeier is going to be taking care of little Ruenthal.
And to be fair, Mittermeier and Julian already had that interaction because he was there guarding the Kaiser when Julian came up and was covered in blood and all that. So so it's they're not strangers even though they don't really know each other.
Right. Yeah. For sure. All right. So Rubinsky pulled a fast one in
final
a very
middle finger,
slow kind of way, and in a way that I actually feel like makes sense for the sci-fi that we're in that this is the only thing really he could have done.
Right. He has money and prep time.
There's money and prep time, and we're in a sci-fi universe that we don't truly know the limits of technology. So this is something that he absolutely could have done. Is it absolutely the kind of fuck you thing in the story that pisses me off? Yes, but you know what? If they're gonna have it happen, just don't let it work.
Right, exactly.
Just don't let it work.
Yeah, because things like this can be a great reminder of like, yes, Rubinsky was a threat, but this was not a
emphasis on was.
Right, but it's not a surprise fuck you. Now Reinhardt's dead. Right,
Yeah,
like there wasn't any like consequence to like the characters in the story. Like Bittenfeld gets a cool moment of being like, sorry, sir, carry him out gently, but, quickly, right?
Right. And
get him into the car.
And then we have this as a way to lead into what Oberstein does to basically keep everyone safe, but also showing how, how viciously he defends the Empire, like a very, very militant guard dog.
Which then leads to Dominique's resolution, which is nice. Like, so that was a nice little segue.
Yeah, so we covered basically everything, almost everything in the Church of Terra.
Deville is still out there, but is he really part of the Church of Terra?
Even what was her name? Ruenthal's.
Ruenthal's lady?
Yeah. Yeah, he makes mention of, tell me where she is.
And she's like, I don't know. And he just didn't press it any further. Yeah.
Right. I love the way Oberstein, emerges from the darkness.
Right.
Do you know the whereabouts of a woman named Elfried von Korlasch? And the way she just has this, oh shit.
Right.
Like, he's just standing there like,
because like Oberstein, I very much go back and forth on him of like, yes, you're good protective doggo, and dude, settle down, have a Snickers, right? Like, but yeah, that's great.
Lots of sweet little moments too. The one with Karin having her little song in the hangar, and it's almost like a siren song of being like, my lover, please come to me. Where are you?
Sure.
I need you here. And then, he follows the song all the way until she's done singing conveniently.
Yep.
And then...
so do you love me?
Yeah. But also, like, why did he have to die? I wanted to get my revenge on him so I could show him my baby.
that was...
I wanted to show him my baby and be like, yeah.
You're a grandpa.
Look at this.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Yeah. That was...
family.
That was wonderful.
That hits different. Yeah.
Right, because, like, I get both sides of it, right? Both of a way of expressing that she cares about her dad, right? Or cared about her dad, right?
Yeah.
But then also, yes, that is absolutely a thing of revenge, because then the bachelor and stuff that's like, yes, I will constantly be a part of your
responsibilities
you're a grandpa.
Yeah, exactly. Deal
What?
with it.
Like, oh shit, am I old? Right? But and the idea that after her dad was gone, she went back to really the most memories of her dad that she had, which was how her mom would sing about him, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and then, do you love me? I mean, you don't just
nod
silently.
Yeah.
You say it. It's
right.
Like he whispered it as quietly as possible. And then she's like, well,
okay.
In the Empire,
in an autocracy,
we can't do this. You can't have a corporal order a sub-lieutenant. Which I love her acknowledgement as Julian is now a sub-lieutenant again. Basically, the idea that he was kind of acting commander of the Iserlohn, but now, if the Iserlohn is no longer around and they don't have
then,
it,
you
don't have all this big responsibilities and stuff that's tying you down and away from me.
Right, which is kind of like that thing of Yang and Frederica being able to...
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Right, so now the gap in our ranks is not so large anymore. I'm still below you, but this isn't so weird now anymore, is it? Yeah. And then, of course, they coitus,
Well, who knows how much happened in that hangar. Definitely could have...
I don't think it was happening in the hangar. Like what? She thinks, like, get in the cockpit with me,
I don't know. Maybe she's into that. But then...
The point is they...
Attenborough then being like, oh, hey, by the way, you've got some lipstick, here.
Right.
And he's like, oh, shoot.
And you realize your girlfriend doesn't wear lipstick,
he's like, oh, well, I know that now. And then he just takes a drink. That was great.
I love that so much, because to me it's more the thing of where everyone's growing up, the story's moving forward.
Yep.
People are having their ends, their little sign-offs on the stories. They go off into the sunset effectively. But Julian's one of those characters where I've been kind of watching him like Kazern and Attenborough and Poplin and Shunkhoff, rest in peace. Like, oh, look at our boy. Look at our boy growing up so much. He's 19. He's only 19. And he's gonna marry his sweetheart, and it's just
gonna be super sweet. Yep. I just realized I called him Kazern when it was Attenborough.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's okay, man.
There are a lot of characters in this show.
There's 150 character names that are alive just to remember.
Right. Like,
Not to mention that there are 50 that are dead,
Yep. I remember when we watched the first OP, and we were like, wow, by the end of this show, we're probably going to know the names of all of these characters, and most of them are probably going to be dead.
And now
I want to go back and look at that first OP, and be like,
because a lot of them are not just like people that, we don't really have that much, they don't have that much grand, really, implications in the story.
Yeah, like old people from the Golden Bomb Dynasty.
Yeah, or from the Alliance side of things. Oh, wait, sure. No. In the first OP, it was primarily the Empire's folks, right?
Yes. And then the ED was
the Alliance.
Was the Alliance, yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Pretty sure that's what that was.
Good OP.
But okay, we might have now Anna Rose, Reinhard,
Yep.
Hilda, Julian.
Just just
all in a room together.
Legend of Galactic retirement home. Like,
oh my gosh.
Like, you can just have a peaceful place and where there's like birds and trees and like, you know, and it's just sweet and wonderful. Mm-hmm. But, oh, man.
Yeah. I would also love so much to have a moment where Katarose meets Anarose, and we have a moment where it's just like, if you ever need a big sister.
Yep.
And it's just like,
like I want to see all of the character interactions that don't necessarily have like plot implications, you know, because like Julian and Reinhard, right, or Julian and Mariendorf, right, they need to talk.
Mariendorf needs to speak to Hilda,
to Frederica,
to Frederica. Oh my god.
Yep.
Oh my god.
That will be wonderful.
Yeah, that just needs to happen. Yep. Who else needs to speak at least a little bit? Mittermeier and his wife speaking to Julian. Yeah, that would be wonderful.
I would love that. But yeah, you know, just things of like, Reinhardt's sister and Karin, right? Like that's the kind of stuff where it's like, yes, because we're at peace now, these characters can get to know each other, right? Because we've gotten to know these characters over 100+ episodes, right? So what's better than having these characters be able to get to know each other, right? Like that's just, yeah.
Ilian started this show when he was 14. He was 14.
Yep. You know what I would also love? I would love Oberstein to meet like Poplin or something, and for them to just not get along at all.
I feel like it
and then Poplin like sees Bittenfeld, and Bittenfeld's like, this guy's an asshole, right? Yeah, I know.
I think the best, like, less fanfiction-y way to do it would be to have Oberstein like interrupt a meeting, and then Julian's like, what's that? Was that? Yes, that's Oberstein. Like, whoa, yeah.
Okay, right.
And then when he leaves, Poplin and Attenborough are on their way, and then they see him, and they're like, oh, something cold this way comes. And then
Bittenfeld is like, what? Someone say shit about Oberstein?
Yeah. And then Oberstein just kind of sit, you know, just excuse me, and then just keeps going. And they're just like, I don't know who that was, but that was that was I got the chills or what for whatever reason.
Then Oberstein
and
goes
they probably know based on
dog.
Intelligence and stuff.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah, that's the thing. Right after this is the most fanfiction-y but also sad way to have things resolved with Oberstein. Reinhard passes away at, I don't care what point it is.
Yeah.
The exact day after that, Oberstein passes away.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say like
no, just basically that he needed to basically, you know, ferry.
Sure.
You need to ferry his glorious leader all the way across, and that's basically the way that they can end this is that, you know.
You know,
that's not gonna happen.
You know, it would be like also really fan fiction-y in that direction. Reinhard dies. Bittenfeld is pissed, right, and just not knowing how to process his feelings, right? But then he sees Oberstein is also drinking in the bar or something like that, right? Like or I don't know. Or Bittenfeld goes and he's like, fine, I'll beat the shit out of Oberstein, and then he sees Oberstein is just sort of crying with his dog or something like that. A single tear, you know, goes out of like robotic eyes or something like that.
Or he's just trembling and he can't bring.
Yeah, like
the robot is, you know,
I don't know how it would right, like
so he like has to set the drink back down, and then he tries to pick it back up again.
Yeah,
and then Bittenfeld like pats him on the shoulder and he just kind of looks up and he's just like, what?
Yeah,
and it's just like, you know, there's no tears. It's just like, and then Bittenfeld's like, it's all right, man.
Yeah,
and like just like, here's a seat, and they sit down. He pours a glass,
and they both toast, you know,
to Reinhardt.
Yep. Yeah, like that, because however that like, you know, interaction would happen, right? I feel like it would take something like Reinhard dying, you know, and even then it's fan-fiction-y.
Oh yeah.
But that would be like such a, like if they can reconcile, right?
See, now
there is hope for the galaxy.
Right, exactly. Now the big twist is going to be how long is the actual, it's even longer than this episode. This episode is 31:55. The next episode is 32:31. Okay, so they can fit a lot of stuff in there. But I am astonished that we're here, and I'm so glad it's all going to end on Fejon. I feel like that's the perfect way to have this be a true form of peace being established, is that it's not ending in Odin or Heinesen.
Right.
I feel like there's almost something
poetic.
Ironic. Or something poetic about the idea that one final act of terrorism basically happens on Heinesen, basically showing that, we need to maybe move on from the old identity as to where these things were.
Yeah, and the new place is going to be split the difference between the two old locations and connecting the two halves of the galaxy. And
well, right, but also kind of letting go the idea of there needing to be two nations, basically. Now, they do want autonomy for Heinesen.
Right, which...
But I almost feel like that
might be... Like, I get that Julian kind of needs to try and negotiate for that.
Yeah.
For, like, the people of what used to be the Alliance. But I feel like that might actually be worse.
It might be short-sighted.
That might be short-sighted because then they'll end up going into conflict eventually,
again,
right?
Just maybe in 100 years.
Right. All the people from the other Alliance territories will be like, sweet, can we relocate to Heinesen somehow so that way we're not a part of the Empire and then,
Yeah, exactly. So they need to set things up in a very slow-moving but constantly progressing direction so that we can have hope given to people that are on Heinesen, for instance, that just suffered this horrendous attack, but then also see that there's basically a way in which their freedoms can be expressed.
Right, because if the Empire is going to need to adjust to things being, the constitutionalism and all that stuff, right? The people of what was previously the Alliance also need to, do that whole thing of, yes, this is a thing of what we're doing together, not what they're doing, Yeah.
But I'm really excited for this. So, y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get an early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access. You can chat with us in the community there about this show, about anime in general, and also be sure to check out our Twitch channel.
We stream every weekday. The info's in the description.
Yeah, so if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.